and lowest was 6.7. If you look at to the labor force participation rate, because I wanted to reflect upon some of the data, because so that we can actually give the justice to this, what this particular data means to us. As far as this labor force participation rate, what do you mean by this labor force participation rate? It means that number of the people who are employable or already employed and plus unemployable people divided by the total number of the people in the range of the 15 to 65, and this is nothing but the participation rate. And that is why, considering this population, if you look at the completely, it is coming to maximum 49%. So we know that total the populations, the employable populations is total 59% totally of the total youths who are supposed to be employed, and you can say the 59 crores. So out of this, you will find that the 50% of those populations are now employable. But the unemployment rate is again very high, and it was if you look at to the just last year, because of this pandemic situation, you have mentioned about this pandemic COVID situations. This in April it was very high. It was 23, approximate 23 to 24%, and now it has drastically down. Now it is the market is getting stabilized because now all the ambiguity as far as this COVID situation now has gone, and now it is a clear indication. Recently, you have seen that Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi have visited to our Serum lab in Pune only. There is a possibility that that there we may get this vaccine too. What does it means actually? Because once the vaccine is there, it means that total mindset of the people gets stabilized. Whole variation in as far as this market has changed. Now it is getting stabilized. But with respect to the technological advancement, now if you look at what is that particular, which are those technological intervention which has made this possible to bring this particular uncertain ambiguity proliferated situation. This specific situation, which was because of the absolutely uncertain into this, who will bring this vaccine first, and this was discussed across this globe. The Russia was also trying to talk about that. The China was the main culprit. Because of that, you have mentioned about the compare this to. But it has been already mentioned that the China people have actually driven this all unstable scenario across the world. But fortunately, all the scientists have come together and made the significant change into the technological innovations and invention, and that is why this vaccine could be made available as far as this healthcare sector is concerned. As far as this stability is concerned, as far as this market is concerned, because of this healthcare sector, pharma sector, which has been impacted, because of this, mostly these two sectors, healthcare sectors, which was requiring the many products which to support this healthcare segment, and those industry actually have given the support to the India. Honorable Modi has already mentioned about as far as this to boost this particular healthcare sector, he has declared 19 lakh crore package also in that scenario during that period of before 6 months, right? Because second lockdown which was there. If you look at to this kind of the support the government is giving, and that's why this total scenario has been stabilized because of the technological intervention as a Atmanirbhar Bharat, and that government of India have really supported to the all industry, specifically to the pharma industry, to stabilize bring out all these medications and particular vaccine specifically, and along with this Oxford University, they have come up with this ultimate solution. This is one example that I am giving it, because of this particular healthcare sector has become very stable, and it has got the good financial status to our government of India, and that is why even though the populations rises, right? I will show you some of the graphs here. But even though the China may be leading, as far as the technology is concerned, that our government of India is still into the growing phase. There are few of the important things that I would like to highlight from the national perspective point of view, from the research, innovations, development, entrepreneurship, and business acumen issue perspective point of view. Because where if the business grows, then definitely the market, the unemployability rate becomes down and employability index becomes high. Right now, though it has been mentioned into this particular figure that it is as far as the participation rate is 49.80, it means that still because we were discussing with Abhay Jere, Honorable Chairman of AICTE All India Council for Technical Education, Honorable Sri Sahasrabuddha Sir, Mr. Punia from he is a Vice President there at AICTE Delhi. Another Member Secretary Mr. Rajiv Kumar and Dr. Amit Ditta and Chief Innovation Officer Mr. Abhay Jere. We were discussing on to the same issues about this uncertainty and unemployability and employability, enhancing this employability index into this after this COVID perspective, and how our educational institutes will be really contributing to curb this and settle down this particular uncertainty. All the discussions, all the vice chancellors, all the authorities in the technological domain, they have mentioned that unless and until the top educational institute, which ultimately our education sector has been impacted, to come out of this particular situation, the situation, very drastic situation which has happened because of this COVID situation in India, this particular problem which was discussed, that what are those steps the University Grant Commission or UGC have to take, what are those steps this ultimately the government sector, government institutions like IITs, NITs, the premier institutions, we generally considered as the cream institutions of our India, what they will be planning and how they will be contributing and how the government will be supporting to them. Ultimately, all are focusing for what are those ways where the technological enhancement and intervention can be used for the bridging this gap of which has widened, because generally considered as far as this employability is concerned. So this particular question revolves around this particular employability and unemployability. I would like to show you some of the other slides also. If you look at here now, can you see this particular graph? From if you look at from the 3 decades, from 1990 to 2000, if you look at the participation rate was from the 75 to it has come to the 70. Then it has by 2005 it was coming to the 60, and now it has come to the 45.15%. So this particular participation rate is of from the China. Are you getting or not? Okay. And this means that as compared to the India, so if you look at here, you can see the complete global scenario also. This is also can be interpreted into the different index. This is called as the purchasing managers index. So purchase manager index, they depends upon the import exports, and whatever the are accordingly the GDP varies. So if you look at the 3 segment as far as the Europe, America and Asia and Asia Pacific region, you will find that China is again struggling to around this 40.3 index, PMI index, which also reflects the another part of your GDP. So and our India, if you look at onto this Korea and India, you will find Korea is a 48.7 and India is a 54.5. So even with respect to the PMI index and data, which is showing across the complete the globe, America, Europe, all the top level developed countries are also around that. The index is same, and our India's index is also the 54.5. But China is degrading in this particular segment as far as this PMI is concerned. Now again there will be the question that why China is struggling because of this, because the image of the China has totally dropped down because of this the havoc which has been created, right? And that is why the overall impact which was there into the GDP also, and the complete technological scenarios also, we India, as a India, we have taken the initiative of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and that's why even though the vaccine in terms of the COVID situation also, even though the vaccines are 95% okay as far as the global market is concerned from America also, we are not importing that as far as the vaccine is concerned. So what does it indicate? Because that will change the complete market scenario, and that is why if this technological intervention is considered, is properly nurtured, or it is supported by the government of India, then perhaps this particular employability index or the participation index will be enhancing. Now if you look at this is the NASSCOM survey. NASSCOM is the Indian body which is mainly, you have talked about some of the technological intervention, which are the key trends into the technological sectors. Right now if you look at the industry 4.0, there are 10 technologies generally majorly focused into the industry 4.0, which has been mentioned as the IoT enabled operations maintenance, driverless car, 3D printing, industrial products, and specifically in terms of this artificial intelligence and data science, or blockchain technology, or into the cyber security, or into the cloud computing. These are the technologies which are going to completely impact to the future 10 or 20 years. In tune with this also, we have also taken the certain step at our university level or at the educational level, where I mentioned about this honorable the chairman of this AICT. They have taken the steps to add into this futuristic education into the engineering, all the engineering institutions. So which are those futuristic, all the technology, these are aligned to the industry 4.0, and that's why AICT has embedded 52 programs specifically which are the futuristic programs: artificial intelligence, data science, as I mentioned already, cloud computing, cognitive computing, all this robotics and automation. These are going to play a significant role. And along with this, it is not that our education sector, industry 4.0 and education 4.0 have to tune to each other to address this particular important section or the important aspect, so that our whole India, and where specifically our education, the entities will be contributing very high as far as this bridging this gap, and these are those who are responsible for enhancing this employability, who are generating this employment, who are generating this total competent engineer or the professional. Only educational institutes are producing it. So that is why, to tune with this industry 4.0, education 4.0 have come into the picture. So what do you mean by the education 4.0? All the subjects aligned to, let us say for example, cognitive computing. Cognitive computing is the computing, so where all the intelligence, natural intelligence of the human, accordingly the machine has to be made intelligent. So all this, your cognitive ability, like that the touch, feel, sense, vision, all this has to be embedded into the robots. So robots will be acting as a human. Till that I am sure that it will again take 100 years more to tune up to the general artificial intelligence. Generally it is called as the AGI, artificial general intelligence. Artificial general intelligence is the intelligence which covers the maximum all the sectors where intelligence is required, where complexity of the problems is more. So the artificial intelligence, as I told you that this is going to play a very important role along with the data science, and that's why the government of India has taken this initiative. Honorable Prime Minister Modi also has mentioned about that. India has to be the AI hub. Recently, you must have, just maybe 1 month back. So, because AI is going to impact right now, if you look at to the 58% of total industry right now, they have accepted this change of the technology. Means they have adoption of this particular technology. So 50 total, whatever the total number of the industries are there, 58% of the total industry has accepted this specifically the AI or data science kind of the technology, because this revenue which is going to impact is in the range of $178 billion only with respect to the AI and data science. So that is why whole market is going to be impacted with respect to the industry 4.0. Now again, if you look at, because this is the actually the report which has been given by the NASSCOM. NASSCOM is very much after this IT and ITS segment. There are 34 segment of total market which is to be driven. Out of this 34 segment, let us say consider this IT and ITS segment, where the information technology department is trying to tune with whatever the as far as the digitization process is concerned, everywhere which is required. This ITS segment, if you look at, this is playing the very important part. Apart from, let us say, I can say 40% of this role is going to be played by the IT and ITS sectors right now. So, and that's why they have specifically, NASSCOM has taken the initiative of the skilling of all the technology in terms of the AI, blockchain, drone, Internet of the Things, or 3D printing, or the virtual reality, mixed reality, augmented reality. So NASSCOM is taking the much of the interest, as you have, because this question which was related to how this technological intervention will be helping to come out this India out of this trap of this pandemic situation and enhance this employability. We know that it was because
to put it in a crux of what you have said, we need to have a multi-dimensional approach in which the government of India will be playing a key role, as well as the educational institutions and the research fraternity. All these organizations or the individual entities need to work in tandem in order to bridge this employability or participation rate. That is what you are trying to say.
yes, correct. Because the major stakeholder are the government of India, because they have to support heavily as far as this budget is concerned. Even though we would like to bring out to the technological perspective, the government has to be supported to the from the finance perspective where budgeting is concerned. Even from the healthcare sector, education sector, automobile sector, all sectors, 30-40 sectors which where all the ministries are really concerned, government have to make the provision of this budget, because government, if there is a government will, then everything will happen. Because the main question is there, because see we find that still the unemployed youths, their energy is not channelized properly, and if you are not taking care, then whole they will take a different dimensions and directions.
Yes, we can say that the demographic dividend make it become a demographic disaster.
Disaster,
Take
correct.
care of our youth.
Exactly.
So yeah, so let's move on to the next question, sir. Since we are talking about this online education and all those things, there is one report which says that by 2021, this online education market will be close to $2 billion, and we are having a revolution kind of thing in Indian market as well. We know that Baidu is now a decathlon. Then there is Vedantu. Then there is Unacademy. That Unacademy is also a unicorn company, basically in this online education sector. So this online education sector, I can say, is going through a revolutionary phase. But again, there is a cost factor associated with it. So do you think that this educational revolution, although it has many advantages, but it will create a digital divide if you look at the cost factor
Yes, correct. So you have mentioned about the digitalization of this particular education. In the wake of this COVID-19 pandemic, it is necessary to evaluate and understand the disruption caused by it, and in the field of education. According to the